Well, it's that time again when we open up the mailbag and take a look at some of the more interesting comments we've received in the past week. Earlier this month, I put up a video celebrating Dave Liebman's 65th birthday. Lieb was named an NEA Jazz Master this year. He's a remarkable creator, very persistent fellow. And I got this comment. Let's see, okay. How about Lieb plays at the next Republican convention? Wow. Well, how, Dave? I don't think that's going to happen, but it's certainly a fantastic idea. Dave Liebman playing his unique music to a crowd of Tea Party supporters and Republicans, some of whom would probably dig it. Some of whom would probably be rather put off. I put up a Buddy Rich Louis Bellson clip a few years ago. I don't want to say it's a drum battle. They were both playing on The Tonight Show one night with the great Tonight Show band that Doc Severinsen led back in the days when Johnny Carson did the show. Played a great arrangement by Don Menza, Groovin' Hard. And I think Buddy was really featured in this particular clip. A gentleman named Dusty Spears commented, Buddy Rich was not an egomaniac. I hear so many people who knew and played for him say that he got angry, but he rarely fired anyone. He was all talk. And yes, he did say, yeah, you hate me, but I can play those goddamn drums. But he was right. Buddy Rich was friendly, but arrogant. And he had the right to be. No other drummer in the world comes close to Buddy Rich, even after death. I don't want to create a best of here. Buddy Rich is certainly a great drummer. And he was a rather outspoken fellow. A friend of mine played with Buddy Rich for several years, Bob Mintzer. And Bob tells me that Buddy was a very encouraging fellow. He could be a little crusty around the edges, and certainly his public persona when he appeared on The Tonight Show was a rather cynical, tough guy. But underneath that all, Buddy was a sensitive guy who treated his band with respect and encouraged them musically. When Bob Mintzer played with Buddy Rich, he was just starting to get into arranging, and Buddy was a catalyst in getting him to write some charts. So we have to make the distinction, first of all, between the music and the person. Let's focus on the music. And as far as the person of Buddy Rich, those bus tapes and all those things, yeah, he was quite a character. No doubt about that. On September 14th, I did an entry about listening to Ben Williams on the radio, being so blown away by the music, and I just came in and bought it on iTunes immediately. And I got a comment with someone who had a similar reaction. Brain freeze, dude. That's an interesting way to describe oneself. Laughing out loud. Basically the exact same thing happened to me. Heard it in the car, got blown away, and went straight home to buy it. We can't underestimate the power of radio in turning people on to music and actually getting them to buy it. There are so many different ways to hear music now, both from our friends or all kinds of different places on the web. But radio, be it satellite radio, which was the case for me, still has a lot of influence in the way that we think about things. Perhaps because when we listen to radio, especially in the car, we're really focused on it. In fact, I would have to say I still find listening to music on the radio in the car to be one of my most enjoyable places to hear music. Perhaps because not as many distractions in my studio or at home, so many other things going on. In the car you're driving, which certainly does take your attention. But if you're driving by yourself, you're listening to the radio, you're really focused on the music. And that's a great way to get turned on to new music. Please keep those comments coming. Thank you.